Hi there, this is Chaitra again, and in this step in our journey, we are going to focus on how to prepare your pitch for your customer presentation. We all know customer presentation can be nerve-wracking when it is the first one, especially around cloud practice. Don't worry, I will step you through the process to make it easier for you to win your cloud customer. So let's get started on pitching your cloud solution offer. We are in the step 5 of the process, which is the pitch your cloud solution to your customer. The customer pitch process consists of 4 core steps. That's what we use every day. The first one is really pitch preparation for the D-Day. And the D-Day is really your customer presentation when you are presenting in front of your customer. And then what happens after the presentation, you need to know exactly how you're going to approach it. And the last one is how you create your cloud proposal based on what you learned from the customer presentation. So what's the content I use when preparing my pitch? First, I look at 2 core sections. First, the content I need to create and being prepared with the right response and repertoires to questions and challenges that may come up with. Also, I identify all the parameters I need to collect during the conversation if the customer agrees to move forward, because I don't want to ask them twice. So the content creation, I focus on 4 core areas. One is just the cloud transformation, is how do I educate the customer to understand cloud and the related expectations on transforming to cloud. I do create few demos to show them exactly how we go about from as is to be. If they are case studies, I will have case studies. If it's the first time, we will let them know this is an idea. We have it on the docket, and I would love you guys to explore and invest in this new idea. And the fourth critical component is the cloud licensing. And really, this is the place where most of the customers do not understand. So you kind of go and explain them how the licensing is going to work if you move to cloud. Especially coming to the conversation during every meeting, I really love to prep myself up and my team. So we kind of focus on all the challenges and pushbacks the customer may have and the rebuttals that we need to be prepared with, and really making sure how you position it, how you correct it, and how you articulate your value proposition. I have also created is 10 empowering questions. This is collected from a lot of the thought leaders around the industry to really come up with my own 10 questions. And then is the proposal parameters that we need to collect during the conversation so that I don't have to repeat few times. During the pitch process, the customer may pose many challenges, and you will want to be prepared when you are meeting with them. The scenarios that we typically see are around pricing, timelines, fear about digital transformation, and resistance to new solution. Especially the biggest concerns that we see around is loss of service, security. And just remember, the customer read all kinds of news on the internet, from the social media to the portals, and they usually form their own thinking around cloud. So for example, I saw like 3 articles that came up when I was Googling around cloud, and it's basically, there are some stories out there and that can really skew how they think about cloud. So you need to be prepared for it. For example, I have constant concern that a customer has raised is that the federal government can ask for all the data in the cloud environment. And is that true? Is that a valid concern that they need to be worried about? When these kind of questions are asked, I usually, bring up more clarifying questions and ask them is, where did you hear that? Can you give me more examples? Since I know this comes up often, I want to make sure I am prepared to address their fear, their doubt, and also demystify with the solution that we can provide. These are my 10 empowering questions I usually have before I go into any meeting. My way of looking at it is you can use a couple of them, you can use all of them, you can use a portion of them, depending upon how close you are to your customer or your prospect. But when I'm thinking about cloud proposal, I usually focus on few things: is identifying what's the main challenge, what's working well for them today, and what is the worst thing that can happen if they are not going to go to cloud, and what is it costing them. So really the financial impact. And then I really talk about, if the solution that we're implementing, what is the value if they implement that solution, and what are the benefits they would like to get out of if the solution is implemented. Once you get those kind of important questions right, it really helps you to kind of think about what kind of proposal you want to provide. But keep all the questions as open-ended as possible. There are tons of questionnaire out there on the web. I would really ask you to come up with your own 10 questions or 15 questions that is in your back pocket that you could use for driving a great conversation with your customer. As I go through the empowering question, I also focus on identifying some of the proposal parameters, so I don't have to go back and ask for those additional information. So the 5 things I usually care about is, first is, what is the kind of scope this whole proposal may look like? What's the timing and what's their expectation? Is there budget range? How many people are involved? And the whole offer size, is it a proof of concept or a big scale opportunity? Based on the conversation with them, you will be able to determine if the customer is ready for a proof of concept or a full-fledged implementation. If you're going in with a team, be sure to assign these topics ahead so they're all covered. This approach actually makes for a more productive conversation because the flow is more natural rather than an interrogation. If you're all alone with a pitch, be sure to create opportunities so you can get all the information that you may need to put a proposal together. So it's the D-Day, that's your customer meeting. There are few basics for the customer meeting. Basically, you want to align with them. A great way to facilitate is for you to make sure you meet with the sponsor prior to the main customer meeting so you can get aligned on what you will be presenting and there are no surprises. Use the meeting as an educational session instead of a selling meeting. Personally, I go into a customer meeting as a business development opportunity when I'm exploring how a partnership can be formed between both the companies. This way, the customer feels that we are accountable for their success instead of just being focused on our own. We sign up for the performance-based project because I personally feel is the best way for both the sides to be working on a meaningful effort and impact. This way, all parties are engaged and empowered to achieve the goals, and also they have really fun doing it. So you're close to the end of the customer meeting. So you are at the next steps. So what happens in that moment? There are one of 3 scenarios that can happen. My whole idea is when it comes to agreement, I leave the meeting with clarity on whether they want to see a proposal or not. I state what I believe are the next steps with the assumptive selling approaches like, I think the next step for me is to put a proposal together for you. If I hear the timing isn't right or we don't have the budget, I will say, why don't you all get together as a team and decide what you would like to see next? In the meantime, I'll send you this presentation and other presentations to have a great conversation with your team. If it's clear that they are not interested at this time, I usually say I will keep in touch with them on a periodic basis. If they say is yes, proceed with the proposal, then you are really in a good place, and that's where you need to be. It all comes down to prepping, how well you know the customer so you can get through the funnel more quickly. It's important to know what their sense of urgency is to move forward, or you have to create a good sense of urgency for them to take the step of yes, please create a proposal. When I'm personally working with proposals, I see personally that, two out two out of, five is usually kind of where I get some kind of a yay kind of attitude from the customer. But I'm always trying to push myself where we have some kind of a proof of concept with the customer to show what is the impact we can deliver to them. So let's say the customer says, yay, you got, go ahead and create the proposal. You will go back to your office and you say, okay, so how do I really look at my cloud opportunity? Or how do I really think about a cloud opportunity? Here is a very simple calculator that we use. It's a back of the napkin. We really converted that into an app because we just wanted to figure out what's the scope, what's the price, what kind of people we need to put together. So the first thing we do is estimate the proof of concept because the customer said, yep, they are interested to look at a proposal for a proof of concept. We go ahead and define as one customer was the proof of concept estimate, right? That gives you an idea. The second one is estimate how much of the Microsoft Cloud products we would resell. So for example, if we are reselling Azure, we would say that would be typically a $500 a month or maybe a $2,000 a month, depending upon the scope of the proposal and how many months that we are going to look at. If you are buying, the Microsoft Cloud through a CSP, that is through your indirect channel or distri, you probably will know your resale margin. Go ahead and put that one. Number three is really thinking about your managed service estimates is what is that it would take to keep this customer happy after the POC is completed. And you go ahead and put in kind of say, I need maybe 2 people or 5 people or a combination of people and tools. You may need is a monthly maintenance budget that is required to help the customer. So go ahead and put that one and also enter your contract period. So for example, in my case, I took out is the proof of concept was a $5,000. We were selling $1,000 per month Azure. In the resale margin from our disti was 7% because of a CSP motion. And then we were looking at a 7,500 as a managed services per month. And then we looked at the contract period of 12 months. So if you really see if the proof of concept was very successful, this entire value of the opportunity is like a $95,000. Is that a great one? Absolutely. It's a great thing to move forward to put a proposal together to the customer. Now you're creating your cloud proposal. So what should you include in your cloud proposal, right? That is the first question you ask. Here is some areas that I would like you to include in your cloud proposal. Start with the executive summary. Describe the opportunity, the cloud solution, and the business impact. Use this section to summarize the customer opportunity and the solutions you will stitch together to achieve the business outcome. The second section is define the problem statement and benefits. Articulate the current landscape and challenges the client is going to face today. And in this section, you can help organize the challenges in an order of urgency, strategic priority, customer satisfaction, and operational efficiency. Also describe the benefits that come by implementing the cloud solution. The benefits that you're going to define have to be qualified and tangible. Use metrics and data to showcase the value you will be providing by enabling the cloud solution. In the proposed cloud solution, review the cloud solution that you're offering. Go in detail, explain the features and functionality that you are going to implement. And this is the section you can brag a little. You can talk about the education, the experience that you can provide by helping the customer to realize their benefits. The fourth section is roles and responsibility. Be upfront and very clear on who you need from the customer and also help secure their alignment and commitment from them, from the resources who's going to be working on this project. When it comes to pricing estimates, disclose the cost, the payment, and the schedule for the delivery. In the schedule, you really need to put in all the milestones that the customer is going to realize, and the payment schedule follows your schedule for the delivery of your milestone. The last one is including your case studies and reference material. Include 1 or 2 case studies as an example. This will help others to get convinced that this is the right place, because your proposal will be shared with multiple people. Having the case studies will really help people to understand how you execute the solution with your own methodology. At the end of the day, focus your cloud proposal in the fact that there is an opportunity for the monthly recurring revenue. State that in your pricing estimates. That will really help the customer to see end-to-end piece of your proposal. So what are the next steps? Over the next few days, I would encourage you to make it a priority for you to identify the first 5 customers. Second, prepare your pitch content and conversation questions for your customer meeting. The better you prepare, the more success you have in getting your proposal. Use the MRR calculator that we use for estimating the total cloud opportunity. Sign up for your CSP if you have already not done. You will also want to watch out for our next email, where I will be covering how to create your digital marketing campaign using the Microsoft assets, which are available in the Partner Marketing Center. Again, stay in touch with other partners via the Yammer. That is the best way to ask questions and get in touch with the Microsoft folks. And the last one is, if you want to get in touch with me, go ahead and send me an email. If you need your one-on-one personalized cloud coaching assistance, please sign up for the program. Microsoft has negotiated a special pricing with us to give you access to this program and coaching, so you can actually transform your business to become a cloud-ready business. Again, thank you so much for listening. I look forward to working with you in the next video. Till then, have a fantastic day. Thank you. Have a great day.